guys, it's Carmen Michelle here, just coming back at you. It is Saturday, February 16th, 9 o'clock in the morning. Get ready to go get me some breakfast from Pal, some cheddar rounds, a strawberry milkshake. But I'm just coming on here to let you guys know today we will be learning how to buy a home. Okay? I'm very excited. This is the home ownership assisted program by Eastern 8 here in Northeast Tennessee. They help with getting grants for first-time homeowners and possibly existing ones. I'm very excited because it will be my first time purchasing a home. They help with like getting your credit together, what you need to do to get your credit together. Your debt to income ratio is very important when buying a home. How much the home is. That was going to determine your down payment that you want to make on the home. It's a lengthy process and it's a lot, and I'm glad I'm going to this class today at 11 o'clock. So I can't wait to get all the information I need to purchase my home, because even though I just moved into this house, it's only for 2 years, and so I want to be ready in 2 years to be buying me a home. If they're going to be helping me out with the down payment, then that means I don't have to say, right now I have a goal set up by my bank to take out every 2 weeks so much to meet my goal for my down payment, which I want it to be at least 20%. So I still may have to save something because I don't know how much the grant is for yet. But yeah, I'm so excited. This is the goal I've been talking about for at least about a year and a half now with my family. So God is willing. He's making a way. He's opening a door, and I'm about to take it. So I think that everybody who sees that door open needs to take it too. So I implore you to, if God's opening a door, please take that opportunity and receive the blessings that He's getting ready to come to your way, because it's going to be better than anything that anybody else or that yourself could give you. It's going to be 10 times better than anything you thought that you could get on your own or that you feel somebody else can give to you. So don't ever doubt yourself. I know it's hard out here and people doubting you all the time, especially depending on what type of class you're in economically. So, just you got to keep talking to yourself and believing in yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody is going to do that, not even your family. So that's my plans today outside of washing my clothes. There may be some other things that hopefully pop off. I don't know. It's really gloomy and nasty outside. It's been raining for this whole week. No good weather. I can't wait until spring. So yeah, I am just really excited, and so right now I'm going to hurry up and go, hopefully, to Office Depot and print off the paperwork that they need to go along with this application, because it won't be completed and it'll be returned back to me if I don't get my income stuff. And I'm going to go to Office Depot to try to look for some printers, because I'm going to need a printer. I have a business that I need to run, and I need to print off things like labels, paperwork, and I can't be running to Office Depot every single time because my work schedule does not coincide with their open hours. So it's about $250 for the one I want, but it prints, copies, scans. I'm good. I'll pay the $250 just so that way that I ain't gotta go nowhere and get nothing printed off or copied or faxed or whatever. So I'll pay that $250, even though I don't want to. But yeah, that's where I'm headed at now, and I can't wait to bring you guys along so that way you guys can get some information if you're interested in buying a home. So just stay tuned. So I'm literally sitting in the laundromat, and I thought a door. I had to start the machine to open the door, and it locked the door instead. It took my 625, and nothing's in the wash machine. So I'm just like washing clothes. Just has a thing that doesn't have any clothes in it. And I had to put 625. I'm trying to get my 625 back. So, but I'm finally at the laundromat. There's the machine over there. It has no clothes in it, and it's still going with my 625. First world problems. But in about 30 minutes, I get to go to the meeting. Yay! All right, hello everybody. It's been a very long time since I got back on. It is now 6:37 in the afternoon, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here to visit my niece. We didn't get to have a Christmas together, so we're going to do it now in the middle of February. It's just that she goes to school and I go to work, and I'm off on the weekend, so this is the only time that we can spend time together. She is now at work right now. She gets off in like an hour and 20 minutes. But Nashville is pretty busy right now, so I'm just sitting here waiting for her to get off work and wait for her dad to come and give me the money to go get the hotel room. I talked to him almost an hour ago. So he said he had some things he had to go do, so I'm not mad if he doesn't come and give me any money. I got money because I wouldn't have came down here with no money at all. I hadn't even planned on him giving me any money to get the room, so that's just a gift, so I'm glad. But yeah, I am so happy to be here with my niece. I miss her so much. I was her guardian for about 7 years. And I've been here with her ever since she was 2 days old. Me and my mom came to Nashville, and we picked her up from the hospital from where my sister had her, and we took her back to where we lived at, and my mom had her raised her up until she couldn't no more because she passed away in 2011. And so I took over guardianship for her, from her, because she passed away. I was like 25 at that point. And it is really an experience. Parenting is really not everything that the young ladies may think that they want. I did want to also be a mother, in my 20s, and I got to be a mother in my 20s, even though I did not have her or push her out of my coochie, but I was a mother for a good 7 years, and let me tell you, working at a job that pays you $8 an hour, and you have a kid to feed, and yourself as well, that stuff is really, really hard. So that moving to Atlanta, that's a story time for another day. And then coming back home to take care of my niece was like my entire life. Like, I got 3 years, well, I can't say that. I got 25 years of my life being able to be in the age frame that I'm supposed to be in. But then 7 of that was strictly being a parent to this. My mom passed and my niece was like 8 years old, and I was 25. So She is now 16, getting ready to be 17 in July. I can't wait. She is totally different from the 8-year-old girl that I knew, but she's growing and she likes her own stuff. So, I'm happy. I'm so happy that I get to come down here and spend time with her. I've missed her a lot. I really have, even though we didn't get along very well. As she got older and started thinking on her own and wanted to hang out with her kids, not her kids, but her friends. Oh, let me put that on her, but her friends, more than she liked to go to school. And I'm like, no, I'm not having that. So, if you want to, do things outside of your education, then it's time for us to, go our separate ways, because I finished high school, but I didn't go and further my education, which I do wish that I did that instead of just moving to Atlanta. I have the mindset that Shanti has now, like, oh, I'm grown, I want to go out there and experience things. I would now think back on it, I would like to experience things in college, because you still can experience things in college as well as being out there on your own and going to a big city me going to a big city like Atlanta at 19 years old and not even been, and knowing, well, now I know that, what did I do that for? I couldn't afford anything in Atlanta. I have no college degree to get a good job, to be able to stay down there, or to maintain. My mom literally had to send me half of my rent every single month, and because my paycheck went to my rent, and then my the other paycheck went to the utilities. Not to mention, I'm getting garnished now because I got into a wreck years before then, and they started taking 25% out of my check. Man, that was a ordeal. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys want to be grown and want to do your own thing, but just please be smart about it. I went down there probably weighing over 200 pounds. I mean, I was in a size 16, 18. When I got back home, this is just in 3 years. When I got back home, I was in a size 6 pants. That's how bad my struggle was when I was in Atlanta. I mean, me and my cousins, we decided to get this apartment because it was me and my 2 other cousins. They got pregnant, so they both went back home to their moms, leaving me with an apartment that, with the utilities and everything, was over $1,000. Mind you, I'm working at Starbucks at this time, and I'm only making $7.60 at that time. So, since that happened, I brought one of my friends from Tennessee. She said she wanted to come and live in Atlanta. So, she comes down there and live with me. And she starts being a manager at Burger King right beside Starbucks in the airport. So, she's making more money. I don't really know how. I think it was like $10 or something like that. So, that took the relief off of my mom when she started working, because she was able to pay half of the bills. But then, somehow, some way, when we moved out of that place and she got with this guy, our friendship just went completely downhill within a matter of months. I mean, I don't even think I stayed in that apartment for a whole year with her. I packed all the stuff that I had, which what I could carry, got on the MARTA, and then the train, well, that's still MARTA, and then caught another bus in Clayton County to go to this hotel, Efficiency, and live there for a few months. I mean, when I tell you that that was really like a learning experience that I'm glad that I have, but I never want to experience again, that's why I go so hard. And that's why, I'm going to go so hard on here, because I want my brand and my business to grow. Regardless of what anybody has said, I'm not going to let people drag me down anymore to where I have to be in that position again. That was horrible for me, and I never want to deal with that again. So, and then right after I finally came home in 2009, February 2009, probably about 4 days after my 23rd birthday, I came home and lived with my mom. Got a job. I'm always going to keep a job no matter what, because I just got to have my own money. That's just how it is. But came home, got a job, hooked up back with my old friends from when, of course, when I grew up, and made a new friend at the place I was working at that point, which was just a little grocery store. We called it White's. Now it turned into IGA. Now it's something else that's different now. So hooked up with them. We got an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, because it was just me and Sharon first that was going in with this apartment. That's how we got 2-bedroom. And then my friend that y'all saw in the first vlog came in at the when we had already got the apartment. And so we had we stayed our full year, but like at the end of that year, it was really rocky. Our friendship was really rocky. Like, I think that at that point, that me and the other 2 girls, once that happened, our relationship changed forever. It hasn't ever really been the same that I felt. And so, got home, went and got on my own, moved out. After that happened, because we got into fights, like physical fights. After that happened, at that point, God was telling me, I can't have roommates. I mean, because I like my house a certain way. I, you know, basically that's what it comes down to. I like my house a certain way. I don't want to come home from work standing all day and I can't even sit on my own freaking couch, because one of my roommates, well, just one of them, because I work with the other one, remember, would be off of work or come home with some friends, because she worked at a restaurant that I used to work at, Texas Roadhouse, and bring her co-workers over there. And by the time we get home, we're just like, can we sit down on one of our couches? It's just, okay, so I don't know where I left off at, because, again, this camera just cuts off at random times. But, as I was saying, if I'm your roommate, I'm going to respect you and call you and tell you, I got people coming over. Do you mind? And on top of that, I'm not going to bring everybody that works in the restaurant to the house, just so that you can get whatever you need to get and go on. Now, when me and Sharon are off, we don't care, because we normally are off on the weekend, so we don't care. But through the weekdays, when I'm working through the weekdays, I'm focusing on work. Playtime comes later. My bills, my saving money, and just overall, making sure everything's stable. Well, back in that time frame, I wasn't thinking the way I was now, but I was getting on that path then. That's when I started thinking, like that. So, I think those people are looking at me in that truck, but I don't care. But yeah, that's when I started getting on that path. Um, I, you know, was just like, and then on top of that, you have sex with your man, like, while me and her are in the living room. Like, we don't want to see that. Like, I'm so glad that that happened. Like, I was, when I had my niece, it was like, or I believe me and my niece, had got into it. She started living with her mom at that point. I had asked one of the roommates if they want to come back, and she was like, no. That was God right there, because no more roommates for me, unless, well, my husband's not going to be my roommate. So, um, yeah, that's different. But, so, that is, I've grown a lot. Like, my experiences so far has taught me, and I've grown a lot from them, and I'm thankful for them, because it's put me to where I am now, where my mind frame is at now. So I'm very happy about that. I don't want to go back, so I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm trying to move forward. That's why I'm doing, several different things along with this now. Not any views, not any subscribers, but I'm just gonna keep on pushing. Like, I've watched other YouTubers that said it took them like a few years to get, people to watch their videos and stuff like that. So I'm not discouraged. I know it takes time, so I'm just gonna keep putting out content because I like to do it and I think it's fun. So hopefully, the numbers will come later on. I'm not really too worried about that right now. But yeah, that's my story time for right now while I'm waiting for my niece and her dad to come. Um, but yeah, I guess I should finish it. But after I come home and that all that happened with I moved in by myself. My sister got into a car wreck, like a tractor trailer hit her car that she was in. She got money back from that. Meanwhile, I've taken over custody of her daughter because our mom passed away, and she only gives me $270 out of what she got out of that settlement. And I'm struggling with the $8 an hour job raising your daughter. I'm living in a 1 bedroom. I lived there. We had to move out of my mom's place. We had to move out we moved out April 10th. We had to move out April 10th. I got custody of Ashanti March the 28th. And then I finally got my apartment. I finally got my government apartment or housing apartment on August the 28th, 2011. That was probably a day or 2 days before me and my friends were heading to Miami to go on a cruise, which we shouldn't have went on because that was a disaster. It wasn't a disaster. It was fun. The only thing that I think it was a disaster is that Hurricane Irene happened, so we didn't get to go to Bahamas. But just being in Florida was completely bombed out. I would do that trip again. But yeah. And so after that, we moved into housing, and I was still making $8 an hour. I was still at my same job, and it was really hard. It was hard to put food on the table, and because you still have to pay rent even though you're living in housing. Like, I think my rent at that time was like $300, and the water and lights are included when that happens. But I also had to have a car. So, yeah. So, paying like car, phone. We didn't have any cable, rent, gas, insurance. All of that was really hard off of $8 an hour, and nobody was helping me out. Like, I could call my dad and get $20 probably monthly. Well, I can't say monthly, no. He helped me out a lot. Probably like $20 every week. Just to have gas. But God is a miracle worker because He's seen me through. I slowly rose up through the ranks. I left that $8 job and went to another job that started me out at $8.75. I rose up through the ranks there, and then when I left that job, I was making like 10.25. So now I'm at where I'm at, making a good amount of money for a single young lady, and able to, just whenever I want to go somewhere on the weekend, I could go somewhere on the weekends and stay until I have to be back to go to work. So it's all God. None of this is me. It's all God. If you pray and let him know what you want, or something that you want to do, you pray about it and say, if it's in your will, Lord, let this happen for me. And you just got to understand, if it don't happen for you, that's because it's not good for you. Like, I wanted to work at the call center at Sprint in my town. Like, they started off, probably about $12.25 an hour. I applied, I got an interview, and by the time I had to go for my second interview, they wouldn't hire anymore. So, and they were going to hire me. But the thing about that is, I was so down in the dumps about that, because I needed that job at the time. But only probably about a year or two later, they closed down. So what's meant for you is going to be for you. And you can't rush it. You can't give up. Because if you give up, then you're giving up your blessing, which is going to be 10 times, 10 gazillion times better than what you wanted for yourself. Believe me, I'm a living witness. But yeah, that's my little spiel. That's my little story. Like I said, I raised my niece. Continue to help raise my niece up until 2018, February the 14th, to be exact. So Valentine's Day last year, me and her dad went to court. I turned over custody back to him. She was 15 at the time, because she's 16 now. She's been down here in Nashville ever since, and I've just been living my life. I love Ashanti, but I don't mean to be selfish or anything like that, but I just know what I want. And because I raised her, helped raise her since she was 2 days old, I'm not in a rush to have any children until I am financially stable and I have a husband that is financially stable and not crazy, and loving and respectful. So I'm not in a rush. I may be 33 and they be like, your biological clock is ticking. Well, it could just tick on, because I know what I want, and I know I don't want to be unhappy. But yeah, once she gets out of here, we're getting ready. I guess we're going to go to this Mexican restaurant that she said downtown in Nashville and eat. And then hopefully her dad comes, or if he don't come, then I'm going to go find somewhere to get a room, and and we just spend some time with each other. So I'm just so in awe, and I just so happy right now. But yeah.